I love Hellboy. There's this one video on YouTube that talks about how Hellboy is America's Berserk, and that gave me the idea for this video. Mike Mignola's art style is phenomenal with the Lovecraft world he's built for his Hellboy universe, and with a new movie coming out soon, I still don't know how I feel about it. I thought it'd be fun to talk about Hellboy's latest game, Hellboy Web of Word. Now if you have eyes and read the title, you know that this won't be all good, or maybe any good. Before I get into this video, I want to give my experience about the game. When the first trailer for this game was showing off in the Xbox showcase, I was so excited. I watched both Guillermo's movies and they're just fantastic. We don't talk about 2019 version. So yeah, I was in the Hellboy Web of Word Discord server and I bought the game the morning it came out before my first lecture of that year. I was so excited I was downloading the game on my Switch under my desk so when my lecture would end, I could go to the common space and play. And let me tell you, I 100%ed this game on the hardest difficulty. How did I play on the hardest difficulty when there's no setting for that in the game? It's actually really easy. You play the game on Nintendo Switch. The piece of crap had me playing about 15 FPS, crashing constantly, losing my progress, and a long load times. Hellboy Web of Word, released on October 18, 2023, developed by Upstream Arcade and published by Good Shepherd Entertainment, was a roguelike beat-em-up game that is actually canon to the actual comic series. Mike Mignola was in association with the making of this game. So you play as Hellboy, voiced by Lance Reddick, RIP. As you traverse through the Word, which is a dimensional plane that has caught the attention of Hellboy and his team due to the Word being unstable and it causing damage to their own dimension, so they're here to investigate what's going on and put a stop to it. I won't get into details about the story because I believe that the story is good. After all, the story for this game was written by Mignola himself, so if we're getting props to this game, the story itself is 1 point for the game. Like any other roguelike, you pick up different equipment and utilities for a run while exploring a different map, with each room/area having enemies for you to fight, certain abilities, or buffs for you. Hellboy is able to equip a firearm alongside a rechargeable ability like a lamp that pushes enemies back and more. Lastly, you have his fist, which you can do light, heavy, and special attacks once charged up. A unique aspect of this game is the toughness meter next to your health, which is basically your meter to tank hits, whether it's direct hits or your block. This meter is special because it serves as a health bar that's easier to heal because enemies drop toughness so you can replenish it easier. When you run out of toughness, you're left to either dodge or take a hit directly, unable to block with your toughness. I personally find this feature pretty fun because it allows for the player to wisely decide if they're going to block or dodge the next hit. There are attacks that the player can't block, and if they try to, they'll lose almost all their toughness, so they need to dodge at times. There's 5 areas you can go and explore and then fight the boss at the end, and then later in the game, you can go back to these 5 areas and they become altered in a way that I cannot state due to spoilers. The graphics are literally gorgeous, exactly what you would be looking at when reading a Hellboy comic, and character designs look great. This game is just visually pleasing to the eye. There are some moments where the frame rate is lowered and some of them feel intentional as to cause an effect, which I like, but other frame drops do not feel like they were on purpose. If I were to rate the soundtrack out of a 10, it would be a solid 8.5. Nothing crazy, but there are some memorable tracks. When I say some, I mean like maybe 2. So I've already explained how the game works and the premise of it and the story. Now it's time to actually voice my opinion, and this is the fun part. I say that sarcastically because I really wish I could love this game entirely, but it just has its flaws, so I did have to not make this as like a Lolo Loves kind of thing or whatever I named the new series, because I can't call it Lolo Loves anymore. But I really wish I could love this game. Now the game isn't bad. If it was bad, I would have named the title something harsher. When I think of this game, I think underwhelming. This game brought a lot of hype within the Discord community. I would read everyone's excitement, and I won't lie, I haven't been more excited for a game than Hellboy during that year. When that first gameplay was shown off, that's when I started seeing some red flags for the game. But when you wear rose-tinted glasses, everything looks like a red flag. And so I naively told myself that the game would be different. What was my issue exactly? The game looks super slow, and I gave them credit for it because Hellboy isn't supposed to be some fast-paced character who's got crazy mobility. He's a heavy-hitting tank with a gauntlet and pistol, but they're slow, and then they're slow as hell. You cannot play this game without running because his walk is super slow, but with the fighting, it just felt so sluggish and repetitive. People were still hyped. I was still hyped. When the game dropped and I got to play, I was having a good time. It was more mind-numbing, repetitive fighting than anything though. Upgrades were just more health, more damage, or stunning abilities basically. Having 5 areas be reinvented in the fashion that they did seemed really cheap instead of giving us 5 more original areas. This game is super short too. I was able to finish this game on the day of release from my college to my home. And I could have finished a lot faster if it weren't for all the damn glitches and crashes that the game would have. It wasn't just for my Nintendo Switch either. People on the Discord server were also having trouble or problems with the game. I remember getting so far ahead in the game and I got caught in this weird glitch where I found a location with no exit whatsoever. I could not move on. I could not progress. I was just stuck in a small part of the map. And when I reported to the server, no one had any idea because I was the first one to not only reach that part of the game, according to the Discord server, but also the first one to have that issue specifically. I had to restart my run, and then at the final boss fight, my game had crashed a good 4 times before I was able to beat him. And I only beat him because near the end of our fight, he got stuck in an object and I was able to just deal damage, and he just didn't move, he didn't do anything. He just kind of stuck in like a walking animation. It was disappointing. My last issue with this game, it's just too easy. The simplicity of the game makes it too easy that when I bought the game on my PC for the purpose of this video, and now the game runs smoothly, the game is super easy without a challenge. I got bored super quickly. This game has this thing when you're fighting a big enemy, everyone else waits on the side for you to fight that one enemy. It doesn't feel like you're being attacked simultaneously by the monsters there. It feels like they're waiting in line for you. But this game did bring me some entertainment. I was so captivated by the aesthetic of the world and the fantastic voice acting. The comic-like cutscenes could have been better. But like I said earlier, if you treat this game as a game where you go and plop down on your couch and kill a couple hours mind-numbing, violence playing as an iconic comic book character, then Hellboy does the job. As compared to all Hellboy games, this is by far the best, at least. Hey, this is post-editing me. I just want to say thanks for last video for getting 100 views. It doesn't seem like a lot to some people, but to me it seems like a good amount, you know, for someone who just was yapping. Just talking about the name. Had to change my name to Lalo Yaps, I think it was. The series now will probably just be called Lalo Yaps, where I just yap about something. I did it just so I can have easier search results and all that. But yeah, other than that, nothing will change. I do have another video coming out. I'm working on it still. I have to finish the game. And yeah, follow my Twitch, because I will be streaming there at some point when I actually do have a fan base. And I appreciate you guys. So thanks. Here's just a short video for you guys in the meantime.